everybody? Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It just flew right by, and here we go already on Sunday night, getting ready for the market for this weekend. It is a short week, Thanksgiving on Thursday, so we'll be taking Thursday off to have Thanksgiving dinner, so that'll be exciting. Thanksgiving's always awesome, so that'll be fun, and that will be a short week. And then Black Friday, the market will be open, but it is generally slow, but we'll see what happens. I mean, this week might be a little bit wild, so let's get into it and see what's going on. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And how is everybody this evening? And let's click over to the heat map and see what's going on. There you go. That's how it closed on Friday. Who was saying, guys, in the Discord on Friday morning that the market was going to end up closing up that day on Friday? And look what it did on Friday. I mean, the Qs and everything just went up on Friday right here. As you can see, they were down, and then boom, they ran straight up. If you had played that call from 11 a.m. to up there at the end of the day, 2:30, that was a beauty. So there you go for the Qs, and the market looking pretty good right there going into tomorrow. I think the futures were looking pretty green. I know Luis Rodriguez will probably let us know. I know he was traveling too, so I'm not sure if he's on. But if he is, I'm sure he'll let us know. And if anybody else wants to know what the futures are up to, Progressive G, how are you this evening on this Sunday evening? Hope you had a great weekend getting ready for Thanksgiving. How crazy is that, guys? And again, we'll have a nice short week, so we'll just be doing this the live show, I guess, tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday night. No sense in doing it Wednesday night when the market will be closed for Thursday. So I guess we'll just be prepping for Thanksgiving Wednesday night. So anyway, let's rock and roll, go through this. We'll check out the football game. The Bucks and the Rams are playing this evening. And did you just watch that Cowboys-Eagles game? That was a pretty wild one right at the end, and the Cowboys won by a field goal. That was a crazy game. So let's get into it and see what this crazy market's up to here. ONDS right here. These things were turning around on Friday. Look at them down just like the Qs, and they ran up, and they are looking pretty good, guys. Look at ONDS. This thing looks really good right there. I'll be completely honest with you. So you might want to keep an eye on that. All futures are marginally green right there, Laptop Travel said. Good evening, Laptop Travel, and how are you this evening? And I hope you enjoyed your weekend. And here we go at Open Door. That one was kind of pulling back the other day. I forget what it did on Friday, to be honest with you. And it did bounce up off that trend line right there. So Open Door not looking too bad right there from Friday. And QMCO right here, we'll look at our quantum computer hardware and quantum ones. And this is a computer hardware, Quantum Corp, QMCO. And it did pull back right there. So let's see what the rest of them were doing, because they were trying to curl up right there. And here is your RGTI. And that looks like it tried to bottom out. It looks like that one's going to start getting set up, guys. And QUBT right here, another one that almost looks like it tried to bottom out, has a good support underneath of it. And let's see what QBTS, that D-Wave Quantum, that looks like it bottomed out. So they look like they might have bottomed out there on Friday and might want to start going up now. The market might start getting curled up. QTUM, that looks like it's finally ready to move back up, and we'll be taking a look at all these tomorrow to see. And here's your QSI, Laptop Travel. That looks really good right there, as a matter of fact. To get set up, I would say I would jot that down as a stock getting set up right there to run really soon, QSI. And let's see what our IONQ is doing, because that was starting to look a little bit better, and that could be bottomed out down there on Friday. So very interesting with all these computer hardware and quantum ones. RCAT, let's see what RCAT's doing. This one was way down, and that thing does look really good right there. So yeah, we're definitely keeping an eye on all these. And let's see what that Z-Space did. Look at this thing. This thing is crazy, guys, and still dipping down lower. So I guess it's just never going to run. I'm not sure, but it does have its anniversary, December 5th right there. It'll be 1 year since it started on the started looking at it on the charts. It opened up, and it's still a disaster. I think it's gone up one day, and then it's gone down the rest of the year. So pretty impressive right there. But anyway, that's your quantum and computer hardware ones, and we're definitely keeping an eye on them because they look pretty good right there. Let me write down quantum and computer hardware, because they are looking good to set up, and we'll definitely be taking a look at them tomorrow. Let's go ahead and look at UNH. That was up, I know that, and that was curling up, and look at that thing looking really good. Whoa, that looks really good right there. You might want to take a look at that tomorrow for UNH. And let's take a look at Oscar and see what Oscar's doing now. Maybe that's getting curled up after getting beat down, and that could be bottoming out right there. So these guys could be pretty strong, as Progressive G was saying. The market closed strong on Friday. These healthcare, and this one looks pretty strong right there off of that trend line. I agree, it did close pretty strong. Progressive G, you know what I said in the Discord. I'm pretty sure you were in there on Friday morning. And what did I say, Ben? I said, Ben, don't be surprised if the market looks good in the afternoon. Remember I was saying that? I kept saying that, and guess what? The market looked pretty good in the afternoon. And here we go. So, Oscar, that one's looking pretty good too down there. And we have a lot of great opportunities, I think. ABTC dipping down, and we're keeping a close watch on all these Trump companies. NPSQH right there, still down there in the basement. So, definitely want to keep an eye on that. And I just went right past Pew, but we'll go out of order. And that was dipping down. And another one of them Trump companies and Net Capital, NCPL, and that one actually could get set up right there. I'll look at it tomorrow to see what NCPL wants to do. And there you go. That's what our Trump companies want to do. Let's see what our crypto treasuries want to do, because I bet these are going to be looking pretty good going into tomorrow. As a matter of fact, let's look at it. Bitcoin, remember, it was down at like 89. That was a bottom right there, and we're going to start getting cruising up. Look at this thing. Look at that RSI and MACD to get out of the basement. Remember I said had a little more setup time? Well, that time's getting set up, guys, going into Thanksgiving right here. So it should be trying to bounce back up to the 20. Then your 20 takes it up for a ride. I have a feeling on this run up, guys, we're about to see all-time highs and possibly get to that 130K on Bitcoin. Maybe people aren't so crazy when they're saying Ethereum's going to be, what, 5,000 or something crazy by the end. What did somebody say the other day? That Bitcoin, Ethereum was going to be something. I forget what it was, but they might be getting ready to rock and roll right here, guys. So keep your eye on that. Solana way down here at 130, and these things look like great opportunities. There's that BNB, and there's our Michael Anthony. How are you this evening, Michael Anthony? And I'm glad you came on tonight. So everybody, Michael Anthony is here this evening. So that's nice to see Michael Anthony. And let's go ahead and Michael Anthony right there. So Michael Anthony, nice for joining us this evening. And let's see, Ripple right here. Let's see what that's up to. And that looks like it's getting ready to start curling up and start ripping relatively soon. So that's not looking bad. And here is your Doge right here, trying to get curled up, not looking bad as well. And your Cardano looks like it could be bottoming out. So there you go with your Bitcoin, crypto, and all these guys not looking bad right there. They're stellar, and that is looking pretty stellar coming out of the basement. And optimism, OP might have a little more optimism. It did curl down. It dipped down pretty hard the other day. I did see that, so we'll watch that. It might be a great opportunity right there. So my predictive charts have charted a retracement to 74 to 66.5 for Bitcoin before a reversal rally. And that's what Laptop Travel was saying. Did you know Bitcoin is down? That could be heading to 75 is what that's what Michael Anthony is saying right there. So we might have to listen to Michael Anthony. He seems to know something with Bitcoin. I don't know how, but he seems, I don't know what the heck I just hit though. Hold on, let me get out of that thing and back into this chart. And he's saying down the 7. Well, I didn't get down there the other day, Michael Anthony. I think it got down to 80. I'm lying. It got down to 80, not 75. So yeah, it did get down to 80. We'll see if it stays down. It is trying to set up. We've seen it try to set up before, but that looks pretty strong right there. So we'll see how the charts and market open tomorrow. Obviously, the market will be tomorrow is going to be a big day on a short week, just because you can see how crypto looks. If it can get curled up, get moving, it'll take the market for the most part with it. Of course, IWM, and some of them will follow these small caps. Look at IWM right here, and this was cruising, and we were playing this on on Friday, IWM calls, as a matter of fact, and that did get cruising right there. So that was that, and there you go with them. And let's keep on cruising along. So we just took a look or let's take a look at our crypto treasuries now, Michael Anthony and Laptop Travel. So we'll see how they look. And let's see, they do. I mean, they still have a little bit of time. Look at it in the basement. It still needs to get curled up for your BMNR right there. And let's see what else SBET's doing right here. And that's another Ethereum one. And there is SBET. And look at that. That is trying to curl up out of the bottom right there. It looks like it's trying to bottom. We've seen it before have a bottom look and still dip down, but that is a pretty good bottom look there for SBET. Maybe it makes a little base and they start rolling. I'm telling you, crypto looks like it's right there, guys. So I'll be watching it tomorrow, that's for sure. And your UPXI right here is your Solana one, and that's starting to look really good. And obviously, these looks are from Friday, so the crypto did run up more from Friday. So these things should be looking pretty good right here. And there's Luis Rodriguez. He must be back home from his traveling. So glad you had some safe travels there. UPXI right here. And ORBS, another one. Look at this big dip down there the other day. Not that low as it was, but it definitely came down. And that one is ORBS. And just keep an eye on that. And then your FGNX right here. I'll tell you what, this one looks really strong. I'll be honest with you. And we'll be watching this FGNX right there. So there you go with that one. And NKLR is good old nuclear. And this thing is looking great right there. It's about to go nuclear. It was up the other day on Friday, and it's up some more. I've been talking about that one, as a matter of fact. I was talking about it when it was down here. We should have just kept it. We had options on it and sold it, and it ran up some more. And there you go. So I mentioned that one, and it did look really good. And that's why, because it wanted to run, we should have just held on to it. But it's still looking really good right there for NKLR. And Galaxy right here wasn't looking so bad at the end of the day, as you can say. On Friday, as you can see, it was running up, and even in the after hours, the very last candle was ripping right there for Galaxy. So keep an eye on this one. Definitely another one getting set up, and so many of them are. So let's see what they're going to do tomorrow, this week, on a short holiday week with Thanksgiving. If they're really, maybe they're just getting revved up this weekend and they really get cruising after Thanksgiving. We'll have to see how they look tomorrow morning, obviously. And you guys know we'll be on at 7 a.m. to take a look at them and see what's going on. And let's take a look at Kodak. I'll tell you what, I think Ben's on to something. He's been saying this one's a great opportunity down here, and it looks like it is going to make a hard curl up there. Whoop, that's not Kodak. This is Kodak right there, and it does look like it wants to make that curl up, and it looks like it wants to start running back up to that resistance at least. So keep an eye on that one. I do think Kodak is getting set up, KODK right there, so you can keep an eye on that one. And let's keep on cruising through our list. Let me know if you guys want to see anything. I asked earlier if people wanted to see any, and a couple people jotted some down. So I wrote them down, and we'll go through them as well. I see Luis Rodriguez posted some. So anybody that wants to look at anything, just throw them up there, Michael Anthony and everybody else. And Tia, why do I always put a Y at the end of that? I don't know. I just go XY every time. My fingers just do it. And TONX right here. That's at the bottom. I think I'm pretty sure my options expired at nothing. So that was their expiration, I believe, was Friday. So maybe we'll look at it again and see if it actually wants to run this time. And that is your TONX. Maybe it'll probably run tomorrow now that they just expired. That's probably exactly what will happen there. And IMRX right here is looking really good there. Progressive G, and I know Ross always mentions this one, but this guy is looking good. And again, they have like prostate cancer getting cured or something crazy. This one could be like really crazy. So that one looks pretty good to me. IMRX, we've been talking about it. And Nix right here. Let's see what this is doing. This is that one that Stock Authority was talking about. And it is getting to be set up down here. Look at this weird look at it. And I know we were looking at it. We've been checking it out here, NIXX. And I have a feeling next week, it could get set up. And then that LITM as well. and not that one. But if I could type, I don't know what's going on. But there's that Snow Lake Resources, and this thing's just been pulling back, and maybe it finally stops pulling back right there, and we can see it start moving up. But we'll keep an eye on that IVF right now, and let's see. We've been watching this guy been beat down, and I'll tell you what, it's getting to be in a good spot. Watch for that trend line to get there, and we'll look at that tomorrow to see exactly what that's looking like. There, Michael Anthony, you're watching Bloomberg, and that has Bitcoin down 1,500 and Nasdaq is up. So that's what Michael Anthony just said. Well, Bitcoin, it might have been even higher up earlier. I'm not even sure. I'll look at it and tell you where was it. It was its high was only 86.53. So what's it at? 86 something. Nah, it looks like it's at its like high for the day right there, as a matter of fact. And or no, it was at 88. I'm sorry. It said 88. So maybe it is down a little bit there, Michael Anthony. It could be. I mean, it jumps around so much. It's crazy. But anyway, that look is not too bad right there. Your 20's way up here. So I'm not guaranteeing you anything. But it does look good going into tomorrow. And that's why I'm saying we'll check it out in the morning. That's what we always do when we play the market day to day. And that's what we always do. We don't really look at it for too long. I mean, I can tell you what's going to happen in the next few months generally, unless something like this happens. But you can see it getting set up anytime you're down here. You're going to see it pop, just like, guys. And remember, I'll just go right back to this one right here because I know it was a great example for our GTI. Anytime you see it up here, what do you think's going to happen, guys? It's coming down. And look, that's what happens. So that's why you got to always take your profits when you see them up at the top like that. You're always going to be coming down. It doesn't matter. And guess what? When you see them down here, guess where they're going to go? Right back up. So that's the game right there on the market. And the idea is to buy it down here, sell it up here, buy it back down here, and sell it again back up there. Not buy it up here and sell it down here and then buy it again and then sell it again. That's the opposite. So don't chase them. Just know that's the pattern. And it's for like almost every single one, especially if you ever see them like that. If they're ever in the top like that, you can for sure. And we should have known that we could have shorted this thing down forever because anytime they're in the top like that, they're coming down like there. And that's exactly what all these did. IONQ did the same thing. I mean, there's a ton of them that had just run up significantly, just like this. And again, in the top for a while, yeah, it ran up a little bit more, but then look where it came down to. And then we'll catch it down here for the ride up. So there you go, a little chart tip right there for you guys. And let's keep on cruising along. And that was IVF. And again, we were looking at this, and that chart's trying to get set up right there, possibly today or this week, hopefully, or next week right there. And let's see. So Nestec hopefully is bouncing, bottoming out down here and trying to bounce back up out of the basement. Look at that, short-lived in there and could get cruising there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one right there for good old SNES Nestec right there. And it is looking pretty good. I thought it was trying to bottom out like right around in here. It leveled down a little bit, but that should be the bottom. It's trying to get back out of the basement, so shouldn't look too bad tomorrow. Hertz right here, Luis Rodriguez. I know you've been liking this one, and we'll see if it can really get curled up right there and get cruising. So that'll be your HTZ, and we'll take a look at that one for tomorrow and see if it can actually get curled up there. It's trying to. It's just not definitely doing it. And remember what I told you about Chipotle, guys, and there you go. So Chipotle looking good still, and we knew that one was going to be running. We called it down at the bottom right here, and look at it. What was your where was your prices? 29 and 30, and now you're like going to be over 31, going over to 20 probably right there, 32. So there you go with Chipotle CMG, and that was a perfect setup. So there you are with that one. And Eli Lilly just keeps on going up here, guys. I mean, look at this thing. And there you are with good old LLY. And we were talking about it just as it was about to run. For whatever reason, we were trying to figure out what its name was. At least I was. And I think we discovered is Eli Lilly. And it keeps running. You might not want to short it down just yet. We'll keep an eye on it. But this thing continues to run up there. And looking pretty good for LLY. And let's just roll right through the rest of this. here is our Cracker Barrel, and here's another one, guys. I think you got to get this one. And check this out for tomorrow. Cracker Barrel, I think, might be a great one getting set up as well. We've been tracking it down here, and I have a feeling you're going to have this guy running up to your 20 and be in the $30 range real soon. So CBRL, you might want to keep an eye on CBRL right there. And then let's check out our Boyle and Gush real quick, because Boyle was up a little and looking pretty good, as you can see. I'll bring it up, but there you go. And it looks like it wants to roll off the MACD right there. So there is your Boyle. We'll keep an eye, but that's what it looks like. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Sorry, guys. I had to sneeze right there. And so there's Boyle right there. And let's look at Gush real fast. And let's see what's going on. And Gush just rolling off that MACD, it looks like. And that's obviously that's the oil and gas, and Boyle is the natural gas, right? Yeah, I said that wrong. Boyle is your natural gas one as we get into winter. And Gush is your oil and gas right there. And both of them been trying to get set up. So we've been keeping an eye on them too right there. We'll see how they open up in the morning. This plug, this has been dipping down there, has that support line. I think you're going to be getting set up on plug. So you might want to be keeping an eye on that one. That one could be a great opportunity way down here. And we ran that up before, and it was a good one. I know a lot of people did well on that option when people were just starting to figure out options. So might be a great opportunity right there for that. And DVLT right here. I did say that Datavolt, I even posted it, Robin, if you're on here, I posted it in the CNR financial group the other day, right before it ran up over 50% right there. So I did say Datavolt was looking good. And there you go for DVLT. It was looking good, I would say, and looks like it wants to continue its way up for tomorrow. So that one you might want to keep your eyes on as a little momentum play right there. So there is your Datavolt, and it had that look like it was ready to just take off, and it certainly did. Do they not have options on this thing? Because I looked, yeah, there was no options on that bad boy. I did buy some shares of it, but not I should have bought more. You always say that when it jumps up 50%, right? But there you go for Datavolt. But yeah, they didn't have any options on it, and I looked. And there you are for DVLT and QuantumScape right here. That could be that bottom. I know Joseph always asks about this one right here, and this one could be bottomed out there Friday. Your 20 still coming down. I'll have to look at it tomorrow as we do. So I'll take a look at it for you and tell you what it wants to do. And your rocket mortgage right here, Zach is looking really good. So we might want to keep an eye on RKT right there. That could have some momentum. You could see it running up there on Friday and could continue to roll right off of there, off the MACD, and go right up. So RKT looking good, and Home Depot and Lowe's, we knew these things were looking good. Them dips were great opportunities, and I think they're going to continue to run. So you could really put Home Depot and Lowe's. And remember, we were a little early. They were looking good up here, to be honest with you. And Lowe's was already running right past. So if you took that dip opportunity on Lowe's, that was money in the bank right there. And that was a great play. We were talking about them, giving them out right there, Home Depot and Lowe's. And DXLY right here. Was that what that is? DLX something. What the heck is it? DLX. It's not that. DLXY. I forget what the hell it is. What I write down? This one right here. That's a DLXY. I wrote it down wrong. And this thing looks real good. Look at that trying to crawl up right there, guys. So might want to keep an eye on it. It was jumping around last week. It had been looking good. And that is your DLXY. So that is looking good. Let me just write it down right, because I just jotted it down wrong. DLXY. And yeah, that thing is looking pretty good. Look at that. That looks like it might take off right there. And we've had it for the penny stocks. So DLXY, keep an eye on that, especially if you like them penny stocks right there. And there you go, Zach, no problem. And looking forward to hearing about Bull. We'll definitely go through that in a few moments. And this one, Kiev, and Ben pointed this out to me, and it's like a Ukraine play. And look at that thing getting set up. And apparently, I was saying on Friday, I had no idea that there was a possibility of a Ukraine and Russia peace deal. and he said he was talking about it, and then he mentioned this thing, and before he even mentioned that, I just said, wow, that chart looks amazing. It looks like there is going to be a peace deal. And he said, yeah, they're already talking about it. So there you go. And that Kyiv looks good right here. We'll see as it gets up to that MACD. I know there was some news about it because then I actually saw stuff over the weekend about it, but I don't even know what they were talking about. So I'm not sure what's really going on with that, with the Russia Ukraine. But the football game started, Tampa Bay and the Rams, and it's 0-0, 3rd and 1. And it looks like the Bucks have the ball, and it's 13:30 left in the first quarter. So it just started, and there you go with your football report for your Sunday night football game there. Your Buccaneers and your Rams playing. And let's see, that's Kyiv right there. It looks like they're playing hardcore football over there. I think it's a little more than hardcore football in Kyiv or wherever in Ukraine. So yeah, this is like a Ukrainian stock or something. I don't know why it says United Arab Emirates or something, but Ben was saying it was a Ukrainian one, and like I said, it looks pretty good to me. That's all I know, and I don't know much, but all I know is these stock charts. That's all I can tell you. IVP way down here in the basement, and definitely another one to keep an eye on. Looks like it might be trying to curl up now. It was dipping down pretty good last week, and the CCTG right here looked pretty decent, trying to get out of the basement there. It was running up Friday. So we'll have to see what it wants to do tomorrow, but that's another penny one right there. And KVUE was looking pretty good right here. Look at that bad boy. You're 20 and 50 meeting up. It's curling up. It looks pretty good. I know it recently ran up right there and it got stuck on the 50. Now look where it's at, guys. So I would say you might want to take a look at KVUE. I know we looked at it not long ago, and it does look pretty healthy right there, guys. So Ross, remember that one tomorrow, KVUE, when we're in the Discord, and I forget all about it because that one looks really good right there. So keep your eye on that there. And ALT, somebody wanted to see Altimmune, and wow, Altimmune looks really good. Remember we were talking about this, and I think they got that obesity drug. I'm pretty sure this was them. ALT, and that looks really good to set up, and that could get cruising right there. So absolutely keep an eye on ALT. Somebody had mentioned that one, and I would have to agree. It does look pretty good right there for that Altimmune, and we'll keep an eye on that one. And NVVE right here had been running up already on Friday. Just keep an eye on it. It still has a look like it wants to do something. So maybe it pulls back a little bit tomorrow and it tries to run up again. We'll keep an eye on NVVE just tomorrow to make sure if it wants to get popping, so you guys can keep an eye on that one. And in your BTGD, this wasn't doing anything there on Friday. This is your staked Bitcoin and your gold, but we'll see if these are trying to move tomorrow as crypto looks a little better. SOLT right here. And again, they did look good the other day, and I didn't know how, but they were, and now they're dipping down. So we'll keep an eye on them. Here's that STKE, and that is pulling back. So we'll take a look at them tomorrow. And then your gold right here. This was jumping around like crazy. It was down at the beginning of the day. It jumped way up and then it pulled back down, guys. So I don't know what gold's up to right here. It's bouncing around a whole lot right there, Doge Mama 9. So there you go. And yeah, 5 p.m. out on the West Coast came fast. You're not kidding. How about 8 p.m. on the East Coast? You know how fast that came? It's crazy. At least it's only 5 p.m. out on the West Coast. You're lucky. Well, now it's 5:30, but yeah, I know what you mean. It definitely came really, really fast today, and these weekends fly by. And then we have Thanksgiving coming on Thursday. I couldn't even think. Well, on Thursday, it's always on Thursday. So there you go, and thank you, Doge Mama 9, for hanging out and tuning in. But yeah, the weekends go by fast, the year's going by fast, everything's going by fast. JNUG looks like it's dipping down. We'll see what it can do tomorrow right there and how they look. And here's NUG right there. And another one, it had a bouncy ride, but it's coming down on that MACD. For some reason, I have a feeling they might bounce right back up there. So we'll watch them tomorrow as well. And that is your gold. And here's your silver right here. And it kind of had the same look, but pulling back and under that trend line still. It was in there, and now it's under. Has a good support. So you could see it pulling back a little bit to get set up. I could see that. I could see this line getting set up with that one next week. And that would be right after Thanksgiving, obviously. So would make sense, wouldn't surprise me right there. And that's your silver, and gold could do something similar to that. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. Again, Bitcoin and crypto not looking so bad this evening. So we'll be keeping an eye on them tomorrow as well. And let's keep on cruising. Here are some ones that the some people on StockTwits and some other people wanted to see. So let's roll right through and see CNC Centene Corp. And wow, that looks really good. I know we were looking at this thing. Somebody had mentioned it. Wasn't it you, Michael Anthony? Didn't you mention this thing before? Or did Luis Rodriguez? Somebody did. And that thing is trying to run around. Let's take a look at it tomorrow just to make sure, coming off the weekend, that it absolutely wants to get cruising. But I would say if that was like a Wednesday, on Thursday, it would have been popping. But I would still assume tomorrow on a Monday, that should still be running up there, looking pretty good. And ELV. I was thinking it was like Elvis or something, but I don't even know if there is anything. What is this thing? It's taking its good old time now. I was thinking somebody wanted an elf one for the holidays, and I don't know what just happened. Hold on. I don't even. There it goes. Elvin's Health. That took a while. I never see it do that, but look at that thing getting set up. You might be onto something with the ELV, and maybe maybe because it spells almost elves and it's close to Christmas. This one wants to run. I have no idea, but that one is a healthcare plan one. Not familiar with it, but it does look pretty good right there. ELV, and let's look at Comcast and see what they're up to. CMCSA. And there, that one is trying to roll. It's been dipping down there pretty good lately and not looking bad. They did have their earnings, and I have no idea what they did, Michael Anthony, but it does look like it's trying to crawl up. So there's three good ones that people had mentioned. And what the heck else did that say? I have no idea what I wrote down. What the heck did I write down right there? Holy cow, I can't read that to save my life. Does anyone know what that is? Please tell me what I wrote on my list. SGMN, is that? I don't even know what the heck I wrote. SC, I don't even know what that says. SGMO, I don't even know. Yeah, there's one. There we go. Let's try this one. SGMO. That one ran up Friday. Maybe that was it right there. And it still has an interesting look for SGMO. Let's see. Whoa, that one did spike. It does have an interesting look. I'd have to look at that one and see what it looks like right there. I swore. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to turn this off for 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, hold on. All right, sorry guys. Hold on, let me pop that back on. My bad. I just had to go blow my nose, and I thought I had tissues sitting right there, and I didn't. So my bad. Sorry about that. Anyway, here we go. SGMO right here. Definitely looking pretty good. It did run up, but we'll have to look at that bad boy again. And let's take a look and see what else is got. This is a good list from people. I might have to start asking people again what they want to look at. So I asked that today, and people posted a bunch of different ones, and I jotted them down. This IVDA was running up on Friday, hitting the MACD. I have to look at that one tomorrow. And Genius Group, GNS right here. This has been trying to get set up for a while. I know it did run up recently and then dipped right back down. We'll have to see that one tomorrow. If it actually does really want to get running for GNS, you can see, remember I said it did spike up. I remember came down. It might try to get curled back up there relatively soon. And Alps, what the heck did I just do? I just went right onto the website. I typed in Alps on the website there. That was pretty interesting, huh? Well, let's go back here. That was crazy. How'd I get up there? ALPS. I was definitely not in the search the ticker. I was in the actual website. And let's see. Ow, this is a weird website. This is a weird ticker right here. Chart. It looks like it was a shell company. I don't know. It was a shell. It is a shell company. That's why. And look at it though. It looks good. We know these shell companies can run. You might want to keep an eye on Alps right here. ALPS. That could get cruising right there tomorrow, Michael Anthony. That could be a really good one. So some really good ones that people mentioned right here. TNMG, TNL Media Gene. I don't even know what this is, but that one doesn't look so great, at least right here at the moment. We can look at it tomorrow. That one could be pulling back. And let's see what EPSM is up to. This Epsom Enterprises. We looked at this last week and it was trying to crawl up. It did run up there Friday. I think we had it written down on our list, I remember. And it did run up there Friday, just kind of hanging out. We'd have to look at it tomorrow. It doesn't look terrible, but it's just kind of hanging out there. And SBEV we had last week, and that's getting to be in a pretty good spot trying to get set up. We'll see if it can get curled up right there. It was dipping down the after hours, is what it said for SBEV. And you can see it was run up Thursday, a little bounce around Friday. It will get set up. It's just not exactly ready just yet. And there you go. Some really good ones that people had mentioned as well. And there you go with them guys. And let's keep on cruising. We'll go through our Jolie's jams. And honestly, I went through the laptop travel list to try to consolidate it. And it was like tough. I couldn't even take any off because they were all so good set up. So we'll run through them pretty quick. It's 0-0 Tampa Bay and the Rams, 2nd and 3. And the Rams had the ball with 7:50 left in the first quarter. There it is 0-0. So there's your NFL Sunday night game update right there, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. And let's keep on cruising right through here, Doge Mama 9, and we'll see what our Jolie's jams were up to on Friday at least, and what they look like, because Rhythm had been pulling back real big. And I think Rhythm might be getting set up right there. Joseph Levy just hopping on there. So I hope you had a good weekend. I think you were shooting some pool all weekend. Hope you did well. And this Rhythm might have to might get back in the rhythm there this week. So we'll keep an eye on that. Blank down there. That looks like it bottomed out as well. And a lot of these are looking like bottoms, and the market could get turned right back around. Sezzle looks like it's about to get sizzling, guys. You might want to keep an eye on Sizzle. I was about to say on Sizzle because it's about to sizzle, but keep your eye on Sizzle because it's about to sizzle. So there you go with them bad boys, and or that bad boy anyway. Sizzle looking good. Sterling took a little dip right there, and you know this guy can get really bouncing tomorrow. So we might want to keep an eye on Sterling right there for that big old bounce because it definitely loves to do it. And Rivian right here had been beaten down a little bit, and that one could get set up. It's not exactly looking as good as the other ones. And Symbiotic had been beaten down, and that looks like a bottom. They have earnings coming up on tomorrow. That's tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, so we'll let their earnings. And I would say from that look right there that it's going to pop on its earnings, guys. And I've been pretty decent at just calling it just from the setup alone. So let's see earnings, and I'd say it's going up on the earnings right there. Let's see what happens with Symbiotic in their earnings. So I just, you know how I do it, just solely off the charts, and that's it. I don't look at any earnings or numbers or anything. That I don't even know what the company does. It's a specialty industrial machinery, and I don't even know what that means for the company or what they do, but I'll tell you what, it looks pretty decent going into the earnings anyway to get a little pop. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow, but that's not looking bad right there. Not sure what time their earnings report, if it's in the morning or afternoon. So there you go with Symbiotic. And let's go ahead and look at our laptop travel list. I'll run through these fairly quick because there's a bunch of them. And that's definitely a catch there for the Rams. That was a good catch right there. Still 0-0. The Rams are threatening to score. They're on the 15-yard line right now. And it is in the first quarter, 5 minutes left, and it's 1st and 10 with the Rams with the ball, like I said, and they are about to score a touchdown. Looks like the Rams might have just scored. And Nope, they said he's out on the 1 yard line. But anyway, there you go. And they're about to score, I think. So maybe it'll put 7 points on the scoreboard. And there's your little football update. And let's keep on cruising right through our laptop travel list. Because, like I said, there was so many looking good right here. So I'm just going to cruise right through and see what they look like. But BCDA looking real good. BMHL, another one. Bluemont Holdings. Look at that thing spiking up, curling back up. Looks really good for tomorrow. Capra right here, Capricorn. And this thing, we were looking at this a couple weeks ago. It did dip down, and I think it's looking a lot better right there for CAPR. So keep an eye on that one. Look at it, trying to get through that MACD. Looks pretty good for Capricorn. And then let's look at CPHI right here, China Pharma Holding. And this one looks pretty good on the 20. So that one looks like it wants to run up. And CPHI, that's the one we just did. And CRDF is the one I was trying to type in. Cardiff Oncology. And look at this guy curling up right here. Looks like that bottomed out right there. Friday has a big old curl up coming up. And Founders Group right here, Founder Group FGL. And we had looked at this before when it ran up. And now it has a really good look right there. So might want to keep an eye on FGL. Nice little penny stock right there, getting set up again. And let's look at LPR right here and see what that's up to. LPR, Open Lending Corp. And this thing looks really good, getting through the MACD already. About to get through to 20 and keep on cruising. So keep your eye on that. And LRMR, Larimore Therapeutics. And look at that thing crawling up. I mean, what a list right here, guys. A lot of great ones. It ran up already 5.5%, like it was no big deal on Friday. And looks like it could run up some more there, Michael Anthony. So keep your eye on LRMR and NRXS right here. And that's Neuraxis. And that thing looks really good. So a great list right here, laptop travel, and maybe some good ones for the morning, because I bet some of these run relatively early, and I'm not sure if that's a C. That's an MVCT. And look at that setup right there, trying to get curled up through the MACD and looking pretty good for NVCT. And there you go with that one. And OPRT, like I said, so many good ones on this list, bouncing off that bottom area, not looking bad right there. QCLS, this one, you might want to put an asterisk next to it. This one looks really good right there for tomorrow. And that one could get really cruising there. Has a lot of room as well. For QCLS, I'll put an asterisk next to it. It looks really good. And SBC right here, SBC Medical Group running up there Friday. Not looking bad right there. And keep on cruising right through this laptop travel list. So many good ones. Solid Biosciences, SLBD. And that thing crawling up onto the 20. Looks like it wants to run up some more. So laptop travel had a scanner tuned up really good tonight. This walk one, we had looked at this before. We were watching it right before a reverse split, and then we even watched it after. And now might be the shot, guys. I think that walk right there could be a great opportunity. It was a real cheap penny stock, then a reverse split not long ago, October, and now it's finally really set up. So there you go with WOK. I'd keep an eye on that in the morning, laptop travel. And ZJK right here, not looking bad after Friday's run up. So there you go with your laptop travel list, and a lot of great ones right there. So keep an eye on some of them. And like I said, that QCLS, WOK, WOK, and a lot of other ones looking really good right there. So like I couldn't even consolidate that list. There was too many good ones. So let's keep on cruising through. Look at our Spy Mag 7, see what they're going to look like tomorrow. At least get a good idea. And then Michael Anthony, we'll see what DLO and what Galt and Buru and the rest of these guys and Figs and everything else look like. So here we go and see what's going on with our Spy. And like I said, they did finish up there. They finished pretty strong. The Qs as well, Mike, or Joseph Levy. I think you want them to go down. They may actually try to run up. Maybe you get a little dip in the morning, but I'm not so sure. They look like they're trying to continue to way up. But then again, that's in the pre-market right there. So maybe you get that run up and then a nice early dip, and then they get cruising back up again. We'll see. You guys know we'll be on at 7 a.m. in the pre-market show, and then we'll be on around 9 in the Discord as well to get really cruising and get the day kicked off and see what we're going to be trading there while we do some live trading. So That's what your Qs look like. And again, your SPY looked pretty similar right there as it dipped down and ran up at the end of the day. And Joseph Levy, who had said in the Discord, I said it earlier, that in the afternoon, I was saying to Ben, don't be surprised if it looks pretty good in the afternoon there. And it was running up, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and see. That's your SPY and your Qs. Here's your Apple right here. And then it just has one LAAPL. And it started to run up there on Monday. And we'll definitely have to take a look and see what it looks like tomorrow morning. Amazon not looking bad right there. Obviously, they could be way pulled back in the morning, but I think the futures are up right now and things are looking pretty decent. Google trying to really run right there. Luis Rodriguez looking good. And I would say Meta right here is an opportunity and a half. I think we got to definitely look at Meta and see what that's up to because, oh my goodness, look at that curl up. That thing's going to run. I think I'm going to be looking into some Meta options. There's no way this thing's not running up huge relatively soon. So I think Meta options will have to be on the table. And if it's not Meta, it's even METD. METU. So we'll be watching this one. Look at this thing trying to curl up. Wow, looking beautiful. And that's a 2-timer. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Meta. Both of them look really good right there. I think that's getting ready to rock and roll. That's a good look, I must say, guys. So keep your eye on METU. We're definitely going to be having a look at that one in the morning. And your Microsoft was dipping down and looks like it wants to get into the basement and dip down some more. So we called that perfect run up and then we got out and then the thing dipped down for Microsoft and has been kind of running down ever since. So that was a good call. And let's see what NVIDIA is up to right here. That one was pulling back as well. Maybe that's a bottom look. We'll have to see what it's up to right there. And that is your NVIDIA and Tesla right here. Wasn't looking too bad. It was sitting on there on that trend line bouncing around. I know that, as you can see. It did pull back, then ran up, and then it was running. And it doesn't look too bad going into tomorrow. So we'll be keeping an eye on Tesla. That could do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. We know that. And here we go at AMC. There we go, guys. I think they are going to start rolling. AMC's getting out of the basement. GameStop looks pretty good right there. Chewy had already been looking pretty good. And Unity had already been running up. So I think all them right there looking pretty good to get set up and get rolling. And your Netflix right here. Remember, they did the old split. It's pulling back to get the good dip opportunity. You know that they're going to pull them back right here after a split. They ran it up at first, and then it pulls back for a good opportunity for Netflix. So you can keep an eye on that. AVGO dipping down right there. Some of your semiconductors as well. MU. That was a crazy one. Big dip, and then it also ran up there at the end of the day. Look at that thing. Big dip and a big run up. If you caught that thing, you were money, especially if you had shorted this down from up here. Like it's been running down from what is that area right there, like 260 all the way to like 207. It's crazy. That thing just been dipping, has been dipping the last few days. And here is there's Toyota Motor right there. Luis Rodriguez. It was bouncing down on Thursday. Looks like it had a little bounce up Friday. We'll have to take a look at that. TSM right here, and that one's dipping down and could possibly come down some more. So like I said, we have to look at the semiconductors and SMCI trying to curl up out of there. But we'll see if it's really ready tomorrow. AMD also a pullback, could be the bottom, but we'll definitely have to check it out tomorrow. QCOM, that was also pulling back, wasn't it? No, it would pull back the day before, and then it started to bounce back up. But again, this was down in the morning. I know that because I was looking at it, and then it ran up in the afternoon. Also, like the rest of the market there. So another one just followed the rest of the market for the most part. And that's your QCOM. And let's see what Snow is up to right here. It probably did the exact same thing. No, that one came down. No, look at Snow. I think we might be able to short Snow down. Snow could be coming down some more right there tomorrow. So keep an eye on that one and possibly pull back more. And PayPal right here is looking good. And that thing's getting set up. I think PayPal could be a good one to get set up and start moving along relatively soon. And how about your Intel? That could be getting set up as well. Your 20 still curling down, but it could be getting set up, like I said. And Dell looks like that's bottoming out. So definitely keep an eye on Intel and Dell right there. And what about IBM bouncing back up? Could be curling up, and tomorrow again could be running up there. Palantir, it looks like it tried to bottom out. Maybe they tried to base out right here for Palantir, and possibly Sophie. It's doing the same exact thing. I know that. So we'll see what they want to do in the morning. And Mara and Ryan and all these guys, maybe these are all bottomed out. As you can see, way pulled back there with the old crypto pulling back. Here's Clean Spark and has the same look, has some support right there that it could bounce off of. And MicroStrategy was pulling back, and a ton of people were shorting this down. So kind of crazy. Looks like the Rams just scored. It's 14-0 right there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but oh, he just took the ball right out of his hands. But he looked like he was down, to be honest. It looked like his knees were down. Aren't they going to review? I guess they didn't, because he already kicked the field goal, I think. So 14-0, the Rams right there. Anyway, there you go. The Rams are up over the Bucks 14-0, and I'll keep you posted on that. And MicroStrategy, or strategy, going down right there and has been dipping down. And what about Robinhood? This one looks like it tried to bottom out. And again, we have to look at tomorrow. Same thing with Coinbase right there. Bull, this thing was down in the beginning of the day, and then it got running up there, as you can tell, at the end of the day. And that thing looks like it wants to get blasting off. It looked like it wanted to run the other day, and it didn't necessarily run yet, but I'll tell you what, Bull's been looking good. I think Bull's going to be you guys know I've been talking about it for a little while now, and it's just been based off that chart. Space a little bit of pullback there. Boeing trying to get set up. It's not ready. It's just hanging out. And DJT not ready yet. Still in the basement. So we'll look at them tomorrow. Nike right here, not looking too bad. And Lulu right here, look at that bad boy running back up. So Lulu not looking bad now, and could get cruising there tomorrow. So might want to keep an eye on good old Lulu. Could get running there tomorrow for LULU, and that one we've been talking about. And how about your McDonald's MCD? And that thing's running up and looks like it wants to run up some more. So you keep an eye on McDonald's for tomorrow. Not looking bad right there either. And let's take a look at Disney, and look at that thing, Luis Rodriguez. I don't know. Is it going to crawl back up? It looks like it's going to try, but I'm not so sure. It wants to. We'll look at it tomorrow. Oxy right here. That is going to get crawled back up. That does look like it. And ExxonMobil, not looking too bad. We'll have to see what it looks like tomorrow. And here's your DXYZ, your Destiny Tech 100, coming down, touching that support line, and it'll get set back up. And there you go at our list. And let's take a look and see what you guys want to see. And then we'll end it earlier on a Sunday night, so you guys can enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Check out the game. It's 14-0. The Bucks are over the Rams. Was that what it was? Or the Rams are over the Bucks, right? I don't even remember who was over who. I just said it. Oh, now I got to go back and look. I just watched it happen. Hold on. Let me see. Man, my brain's terrible, isn't it? Let me see real quick. The Rams are over the Bucks. Don't listen to what I said. What did I even say? The Rams are over the Bucks. It's 14-0. And it is still in the first quarter, like a minute 42 left. So there you go. And it is back on right now. So there you are with your NFL update, and Fun and Jack right there. What's Fun and Jack up to, Michael Anthony? We'll go through and take a look. Let me see what's going on from the top up here. Progressive G was checking in at the beginning, and we were talking about Bitcoin. Michael Anthony said it could go down to 75K. We'll be checking it out. And Laptop Travels at 74 to 66.5. So we'll be definitely watching that. Luis Rodriguez has a big old list right here. Let's go through that real quick, and we'll look at Rumble and see what Rumble's up to. That looks like it's about to start rumbling, huh? I'll post a list right there so you guys can see it. And then I'll go through. We already looked at Hertz. Rumble looks pretty good setting up, I must say. We got to keep our eye on that one right there. And Fig. Weren't you just saying this one, Michael Anthony? What's this Figma? I know we've looked at that before. And that does look pretty good. Good old Figma. Looks like it's bottoming out right there. Looking pretty good. I know CoreWeave was jumping up last week. We had it on the list last week. and it was jumping up some more right there. It did pull back. I remember Thursday it ripped up there and then pulled back, but that does look like it's trying to get set up as well. And then this Coors, remember they didn't do their deal or something, didn't that like not happen or whatever, and that thing is dipping down right there. And this REGN is popping up there and looks like it has some good momentum right there for REGN. I did see that one. We had it on the list the other day last week. And Adobe right here looks like it's trying to curl up. I did see that last week. Not looking bad right there. And DraftKings, look at that thing looking really good. That could be a good play for tomorrow. DKNG, not looking bad. So, yeah, keep an eye on that one. Let's look at it. I'd say DraftKings looks pretty good right there. DKNG, that's a good one. Luis Rodriguez. And this TMDX, I know Ben was playing this thing, Transmetic Group, and it was running up the other day. It looks like it wants to run up a little bit more. I'm not familiar with it. Transmetic Group, TMDX, but it appears to be a pretty good one right there and looks like it wants to run up more. MU right here, like I said, was a big, big dip, and we'll take a look at that and make sure it's really ready to run back up. And good old Tempest AI, TEM. And that's curling up, not looking bad right there, getting set up. Luis Rodriguez, pretty good one for TEM. And LULG, is that a Lulu leverage? There you go. I figured it was. And that is looking good. GCT, GigaCloud. Wow, that one, you've been talking about that, and that's been running up there. It looks like it's going to continue. And Domino's Pizza, man, we were talking about that one not long ago, and that's running up. And ROST is good old Ross Stores, and that one could keep some good momentum there tomorrow. And ALGN is Align Technology, and that looks like it's going to align with the stars going up right there. ALGN looks like a pretty good one to continue to go up and keep that momentum right there. So you might want to keep an eye on that one, especially in the morning, guys. Look at that. NVRI right here bounced up and was running up there. I have to look at that in the morning. And MFI, MF International, big spike up there Friday and ran back down. IVVD, you've been talking about this one getting set up, and I have a feeling that one's going to get running relatively soon, even higher. IVVD right there. And that circle's been beaten down, is trying to curl back up and make another full circle right there. Look at that. It's first day it opened up. It's almost down as low as it was in its very first day. And there you go. So that's definitely a good opportunity for CRCL. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez. Thank you very much. And there you are with that list. Futures are green, Luis Rodriguez said. And he said the football game was around Notre Dame 70 and Syracuse 70. Holy, or 70 to 70. It was around Notre Dame 70 and Syracuse 7. Here, I'll put it up there since I can't read. I didn't even see that score, but I would say that is a route right there, Luis Rodriguez. That's a lot of touchdowns anyway, that's for sure. And Google 311, it's not down, it's up right now in the over hours, and it's chilling with some 311 music. If you're saying it's at 311, it closed at 302. I'd say it's ripping right there and overnight. So there you go at Google. And like I said, keep an eye on Meta because that looks great. Bitcoin's like a hot Mexican jumping bean right now. It is jumping all over right now. It's at 86, 87 just about. So keep your eye on that one as well. And yeah, it's like I said, it's just about at 87 right there. And there you go with that. Let's see what else is going on. Always track the deviance from the 200 DMA because stocks will almost always return to this trend line over time. And there you go. Hertz, massive open interest on January 26 calls, 50-50 strikes. They're cheap. And $50 per contract right there. Luis Rodriguez said. So there you go with that. You guys can check that out. Luis Rodriguez knows what he's talking about with options. So go ahead and jot that one down if you want for good old Hertz. And let's see. December 19th, Pfizer calls right here. Also a very open, high interest. Think something's cooking with Pfizer. Well, let's see with Michael Anthony. What do you think? I think something's cooking with Pfizer as well. That's a pretty good setup, I must say. So you keep an eye on good old PFE because that does look really good. And there's a lot of good setups right now, guys. Remember, like a week or two ago, there was none and the market pulled back. Now there's a ton and the market looks like it wants to rip. Fig is the most oversold stock on your watch list, and you bought it. February calls on Friday for Luis Rodriguez. So keep an eye on good old Fig right here. And that one is going to be setting up. And it did look pretty good. I know that. FIG right there. Look at that bad boy in the basement getting ready to run. And it could easily double itself with no problem, Luis Rodriguez. I agree with you. That is a good one. Light was up big on Friday. You're not kidding. I know you mentioned this one Thursday. It was running up. It was bouncing around and not looking bad right there. And there you go. And yeah, bull. I'm telling you guys, this thing is looking great. You guys know I have options on it. That's for sure. Options all over, expiring like all over the place. So wherever you have options at, I pretty much have them. I think on bull. Here you go. I have them in expired on in the 28th. I have some expiring. I don't think I have any expiring in December, but perhaps I do. I have to look. I think I have some in January, and then maybe on the February and in March. I have them all over the place. So there you go. Just letting you know. And that is bull. And Doge Mama 9 hanging out. And of course, Michael Anthony on here tonight. And everybody say hi to Michael Anthony because that one the other night when he was on. So there you go, Michael Anthony. Now we have some sound effects sometimes. So we give you proper applause. And let me see what's going on. Or I just lose everything at light. And then what were you saying? SVM right here, Michael Anthony. Dip at 593 is silver and announced small dividend. I'm not sure, but let's see. SVM Silver Corp metals. It is a silver one. You're right about that. And it did have a nice little dip to what was it? 593. It's in the 620s. There you go. Not looking too bad. Looks like it has a little bit of a setup period, but SVM, a silver one. And how does Clove look? That did a rebound right here. Let's see what Clover Health looks like at 228. Let's see. That actually looks really good too, Michael Anthony, to get set up. We might have to keep an eye on your Clover Health. Look at that bad boy. There's another one getting set up. I'm telling you guys, there's a ton of them getting set up. I could tell you there's like 100 of them right now. I keep jotting them down. Michael Anthony loves Fig too. I think if Michael Anthony and Luis Rodriguez, guys, are telling you it's the exact same one, you might want to make that one of your top plays going in for going forward. I'm buying Fig options tomorrow. Let's go look at the options right now together, everybody. How's that sound? All 111 people plus that are on here. Let's take a look. Here's our Fig options. They expire 12/5. When's that? That's going to be, hold on, because next week is, I got to look now. Hold on, give me a second, because next week's like the last week of December, so that's why I gotta flip over or see what the heck this is. I can't see nothing. You guys know that. So December 5th would be the next Friday, so that would be like a Friday out, like not this Friday, but the next one. And then you have the 12th, which would be, hold on, 12/5. Wait a sec. Oh, here. I gotta flip this. I don't even know what the heck I'm trying to look at this little ass calendar. Now they give you like the month before and then month after on a calendar, and I can't even look at it. 12/5. So that's next Friday. And then the 12th will be the Friday after that. So they're basically every Friday there that they're expiring. So we can take a look and see which ones we like. Let's take a look. Hold on. We might have to get these a little further out just because that thing looks so good. What do you think, Luis Rodriguez? Pick a date on these Fig guys. Figs is closed. I don't care what they do. We're just trying to figure out which ones we're looking at here, Michael Anthony. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, middle of January. Let's do it. And where's it at? It's at 34. So we're going 35 strike price right there. And they're at 325. A little pricey right there. But it is a $34, $31 stock. So there you go. Spread's pretty big on that, I must say. Let's see if it gets any better as we do this. Now that got a little bit bigger. Let's see if we go out. That's a little bit better right there. Maybe we go out to February. and that's a little bit better of a spread right there. 480, they're more expensive though. Holy shit. Maybe wrap it back in. These are pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. What's December 19th? They're still pretty expensive too, but we're still gonna be looking at these bad boys. I think I'll be getting them, that's for sure. This thing looks way too good. And I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd have to go like middle of January on this. Maybe even I would say maybe even that February one, you pay a little extra, but that thing could really run. If you do, you just go to middle of January. You're right around there anyway, so not too much more. I mean, they're definitely more expensive. Yeah, they're a lot more. Never mind. They are a lot more for February. January 16th, right there. Not looking bad for your 35 strikes. Let's look at it tomorrow, guys, on Fig. We'll be checking it out. That's what we're looking at right there. Hope you guys like that, Michael Anthony. So there you go. Let's see. What is FISV right here? That Fizzerv. This one's in the basement trying to curl up too, Michael Anthony. Here's another one. Could be a really good one right there. Let's see. And they have some pretty good options going on as well. Let's just take a quick look. They're right around the same price, huh? Holy cow. I think so. I don't really remember, to be completely honest with you. But there you go. FISV not looking bad right there. So you got Fig, FISV, all kinds of them. Joseph Levy looking good. And let's see. Fig's looking good. I have to agree with you guys. And I will be looking at them options. ABEO right here. And that's getting set up. Look at that thing getting curled up. ABEO. Didn't you mention this like last week or something? Abiona or something like that. I don't really remember, but that's a pretty good setup right there. And let's see what Galt and Buru look like, Joseph Levy. That Galt wasn't too bad. It did pull back there. Oh, man, Galt looks like it's pulling back a little bit at the moment, huh? Oh, that looks like it could come down to the 50 right there. Let's see what your Buru looks like. Good old Nubaru right here. Buru. And that one's not looking bad, though. Buru's looking pretty decent right here. Let's see. Yeah, Buru looks good. Galt could pull down. Buru could get set up to get moving right there. Looking pretty good for good old BURU. So there you go with that one. And DLO can run the 17 if buy and just hold with upgrades to 15 and 19. And DLO, let's see what the down low is up to right here. That D local limited. And I remember you talking about this one, Michael Anthony. It's in the 12s. And it is trying to get set up. I don't know if it's exactly ready just yet, but D-Lo right here. It's got that setup look, that's for sure, and could be a good one. I know you do like that one right there. You've mentioned it before. AMD could bounce higher, and 1-2 hold is what Michael Anthony's saying right there. And there's your, it has that bottom look, doesn't it? We'll see what it looks like tomorrow morning. SMCI right there. That's been dipping down as well and pulling back, and we'll see. That one's kind of in your basement, ready to get rocking and rolling. I agree there. And let's see what's going on. Joseph Levy been playing the old cues and STM. GFS, what is that? STM right here. We looked, no, we didn't. St. Micro Electrics. That's coming out of the basement looking pretty good, Michael Anthony, as well. And GFS, Global Foundries right here. And that's curling up looking pretty decent. So some good ones right there, Michael Anthony. UPS looking real good. Yeah, UPS is looking real good. We had talked about that before. And FedEx. So you can just keep your eye on them. I'm going to add them down here to the list because they're good. FDX and UPS right there. Always pretty decent ones. Looking pretty good right there. AI is at C3 AI. That's curling up and looking pretty good. There's so many great setups right now, guys. It's crazy. WDC is Western Digital Corp with a big dip. Could be a bottom. We'll have to look at it tomorrow. And let's see, Doge Mama 9, what do you have going on? B-Fly, what is BFLY? Blue Foundry Bancorp. I can't read. Anyway, Blue Foundry Bancorp, it says. And that is curling up right there. Where the heck did you find that one? I don't even know. B-Fly. but it looks like it could be flying tomorrow. So I would keep an eye on that. Let me jot it down over here. Good old B fly. Look at that in the morning. It looks like an interesting look right there. And GPUS, we're familiar with this one, Hyperscale Data. And that is curling up. It was running up on Friday. I do remember that. Good old GPUS. We had looked at it recently. And I think that's another good one right there. Doge Mama 9, that's a good penny stock. Good old GPUS. So we'll be keeping an eye on that too. And I'll go over both of them in the morning. They both look good. MNDY, wasn't that one? No, that's Monday.com. It's going to be a Monday.com tomorrow. So maybe that's going to be jumping there. Michael Anthony for good old Monday. So we'll watch that. Fun is what? I forget. Six Flags, that's it. And Travis Kelsey, didn't they put some money into this? This is looking really good. That looks like it could be getting fun, guys. And these are the ones that we love when they're down like that and beaten down, curling up out of the basement. These are the ones that you got to take advantage of. I agree with you on that one there, Michael Anthony. And good old Jack in the Box. Somebody had just mentioned this last week and saying it was setting up. But yeah, there's so many good ones right now, guys. It's crazy. You couldn't even play them all. It's so nutty right now. So you know the markets are going to get running when they look like this. ST Sensata Technologies or something running up there Friday. I have to see what that looks like. And your PZZA, your Papa John's. Look at this thing down there. But that looks real good to start moving back up there. Michael Anthony, play at $12, you're saying? That's at Dave and Buster's. Oh, that one. Wow, that one's actually. You think that one's pulling back? It could with the 20 coming down. It's curling up, looking pretty good though, but not looking bad. Did it get down? I don't think it even got down there. It got in the 13s right there, but you can watch for 12 if it gets down there. Kathy Woods made big purchases last week on CRCL, so she's liking that circle. It is looking pretty good right there, Luis Rodriguez. I must say, there's a lot of great ones right now setting up. I can't argue that. That's for sure. And let's see what else you guys want to see. Play dip to $12 is a deal. I won't disagree with that. If it dips down that low, that's the thing there, Michael Anthony. I'm not sure if you get that dips 100% down to 12. I could see what you're saying, but I'm not sure you get it all the way down there. We'll see what happens right there. FFAI starting a seasonal climb right there. Is this the time of the year that it likes to climb? It does look pretty good right there. I must say that Future Faraday or Faraday Future Intelligent Electric looking pretty decent right there. And let's see, Bitcoin is selling off, so be careful that the markets have been following Bitcoin all last week. And is Bitcoin selling off? It's at 80. It's almost at 88. Michael Anthony, what are you talking about? I'm not sure where your sell-off's happening right now, but it looks like it's popping up to me, crawling up, looking pretty good right there. We'll readdress it in the morning, so we'll see about that in the morning, Michael Anthony. And what is VG doing? I don't even know what that is. No, Venture Global. We've looked at this before. That's down there. Not looking too bad. Let me see. It does look like it's trying to roll off the MACD right there. It certainly is. So not too bad. And GoGo, what is that one, Michael Anthony? Holy cow. This one sounds like it could be naughty. GoGo, GOGO right here. And you're saying they had insider buys as well. It is kind of naughty. And it's curling up really nice right there, looking pretty good. So, yeah, keep an eye on GoGo right there, looking pretty decent, I must say. Telecom services or something. So, there you go with that one. Let's see what else is going on. Which one's that one, Luis Rodriguez? You like the January 20th? Oh, we were talking about Fig. I asked you which one you liked, and you said let's go back to that guy so you know. And Luis Rodriguez did say he likes the January 26th one. Oh, there is no. That's not Fig then. That wasn't the one he was talking about right there because that's a 45 strike. Not sure which one you're even talking about there, Luis Rodriguez. Anyway, let's see. Bought ABEO right there. Let me see what that's doing. ABEO, and that one is, let me see. Oh, that one's not looking bad. I think we might have looked at that one already. And oh man, my nose is like itchy. I don't know what's going on. You know why? I was doing the leaves outside today. I bet that's the reason why. I bet that's the reason why I am sneezing and my nose is all itchy. I didn't even think about that. That is probably a good reason anyway. Yeah, ABEO right here. That is looking pretty good. And we will keep on going right there, Michael Anthony. But that is looking pretty nice. What did you say? You bought ABEO and waiting for the move up with year price of 21.25. I mean, I could see it popping there. You might be holding on to it way longer than I would, that's for sure. And how are you there, Robin? And what scanners are we all using? I use the FinViz and the TrendSpider. You guys know that, that's for sure. That's what I prefer anyway. And laptop travel, I have no idea what he has. I know he has a TrendSpider, but I'm not sure what scanners he's using over there. And what everyone else is using. And Bitcoin is pushing. That's what I was saying. And Michael Anthony has lots of shares of DLO, almost 5,000. So if you want to piggyback with Michael Anthony right there, you certainly can. The Giants are 2-10. They are pretty bad. And Goro is gold and SVM silver. So there you go. And this is a gold resource one, good old GORO. And we looked at SVM, and like I said, we'll have to take a look at that one. 2 gold and Eagles. Cowboys beat the Eagles, yeah, by a field goal. That was a pretty wild game. And Lulu looking pretty good right there, I must say, guys. So keep an eye on that and your LULG. And remember, I was talking about that one already, and we were a little bit early. It did dip down, but still looking good right there. There are lots of oversold stocks on FinViz. There's lots of oversold stocks all over the place right now, Michael Anthony. Fun bought 6 back during the summer. So, yeah, fun. They Six Flags, yeah, Travis Kelce and some other people like put some money into it. I remember that happening right here. Can Travis Kelce spark a Six Flags turnaround? That was back in October. I do remember that. And of course they could, because they could have Taylor Swift sell out huge concerts, and it would be massive right there. So yeah, they could turn it right around with Travis Kelce with that. So anyway, BBW, what's that? The BBW right there is a Build a Bear workshop. I saw one of them yesterday. I was at the mall. That looks really good, Luis Rodriguez. Good old BBW. Holy cow, there are just so many great stocks right now setting up. Figure analysts. Next leg targets 45, 50-day SMA, and en route to 67 analyst consensus near 67, 96% upside. So there you go on Fig. It's in the 30s, guys. It does look like it's going to get cruising. That's Laptop Travel's look. And on Bloomberg has shares down on Bitcoin early unless rebound. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about there, Michael Anthony, but it's flying up. And BLFY is a great pick, has been in the backroom scanner watch list right here for your laptop travel, that Blue Foundry. And there you go, BLFY. And then that Doge Mama 9 mentioned this one. So there you go, laptop travel. Doge Mama 9 was agreeing with you on that one. That's for sure. She liked that. And let's see if we missed anything over here. I think we got to everything else. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, I think we got to everything. Don't forget, tomorrow is the small cap show at 1 o'clock with Wolf and everybody. So we'll be on there, and you can check that out. Of course, we'll be on at 7 a.m. doing our pre-market show, and then 9 a.m. in the Discord and all that other stuff. Let's just see what's going on over here if we missed anything or anything else is trending over here. So let me just pull this up. It was all crypto, as a matter of fact. I already looked at it. And the game, it's 21-0 now. The Rams are over the Bucks. So there you go. Second quarter with about 8 minutes left in the second quarter, first half. So there you go with that. Let me click over here. And like I said, it looked like it was all crypto. Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything was trending because they were all seeming to go up. Google, you're right. Google is up. That's trending right now. And let's see what else. What is REPL? I'm not sure what that even is right here. Now we have to look. REPL sounds like a reptile. REPL. Repluming. I'm not sure what that's up to. Not looking too bad. And PTN. I don't know what that is either right here, but I can't type. I don't know why I can't type it. There you go. PTN Palatine Technology. That thing's running up pretty big right now, guys. So you can keep an eye on that one. And NXST, some different ones. Next Star Media looks like that one wants to run. Keep an eye on that in the morning there, Laptop Travel. So there's a couple other ones right there that you guys can keep a look at. And let's see what else is going on over here. What else were we doing? So yeah, that was them. And let me see. Oh yeah, we were going over here to see if we missed anything. Give me 1 second right there. And let's blow that out. There's your Soxus, and that's your semiconductor bear right there. Had been going up, and we'll have to see. I mean, it doesn't look too bad, so we'll be keeping an eye on everything tomorrow to see how the market looks. NVIDIA pulling back right there. There's that IVP not looking too bad to get set up. It was been beaten down. There's your data vault. Open door right there. ONDS. We were talking about OSRH as well. There's your SPY plug we were talking about. Just went by Tesla and your IWM Big Bear right there pulling back a little bit. ASST, we'll see if that gets set up tomorrow. And there's your Sophie and your Qs over there. SPDN. Just kind of pulling back. Nothing real crazy right there. And there's Beyond has been pulling back. Google looks like it's up. CCTG we looked at already. And there's that Grab going down some more. Then DNN is that Denson Mines. That's pulling back. American Airlines not looking too bad. At least it was trying to get set up. There's that SGMO right there. And Archer right here had been pulling back. That thing looks like it's getting set up. And there's your Apple. But let's look at Archer right here. Look at that thing. That thing looks like it's going to get set up relatively soon. So you can keep an eye on that right there. And there you go. That's what's going on over there. That's what's happening on that. And I think we got everything else. Let's see what else is going on. And let me see. Scanners. Laptop Travel said he built 3 of his own scraping market data right there. So yeah, we all just kind of make our own or use Finviz. Finviz is good, but yeah, if you do get TrendSpider, go through my link, my affiliate link, and I'll send you over my scanners and everything like that. You can have a blast with them. Like here you go. I meant to click the one below it, but hold on. Let it just stop. Hold on. I can stop it right there. And that one there is the one I was trying to click. And the bunch should pop up relatively soon. Maybe not. I don't know what it's doing. But it usually does pop up a bunch of them. I don't know what's going on. It looks like I got to reset it. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, it's just taking its time. Usually that's the S&P that should pick them up for sure. But it's not picking many up. I don't know what's happening there. That's weird. I'll have to check that out in the morning. Let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, something's. I have to exit out of it and come back in if they're not. Them two aren't pulling anything up there. They should be anyway. So I can reset that. That's easy. But anyway, there you go. And PTN. What is that? Oh, that Palantir Group. Yeah, that's way at the top. That's a quick momentum play in the morning. That's like a 4 a.m. warrior type thing there, Michael Anthony. That's why I said for Laptop Travel to look at it in the morning, because that's what that would be. Fun calls, January 16th, 2026, $15 calls, mid premium, $1.38. Deltas 46 cents provides solid directional exposure to the upside moves. Lowest for something IV 97 90% 0.78 among listed strikes, implying something here. I'll put that up there. I can't even read it. I'm telling you guys, know I can't read. And anyway, there's your fun. That's Six Flags. And yeah, I'd say that's looking pretty fun to get cruising relatively soon. So keep an eye on that. What's January 16th you're saying right there? Let's take a look at them. Why we got it up on the screen. There you go, January 16th. And he did say 15. That's what I would look at right there. $1.30 calls. Premium $1.38. You're right there. It does have some good interest right there. That has some pretty good interest as well than $30 calls. I don't know who's getting 30, but that's pretty wild. They must know something. I'll tell you what, though, this thing gets cruising. I mean, 30's not out of the question because it's at the 200. I just don't see it getting there. I'd rather just get $15 calls and know it's going to blast through there and win. So anyway, that's the way I look at it. The $30 calls are probably much cheaper, I'd have to assume anyway. And let's see. Yeah, 30. Oh, yeah, way cheaper, that's for sure. But there you go. That's coming up right there. We'd have to look at these ones we were talking about, but there's 30. Yeah, they're only 20 cents as opposed to like the $1.30, $1.45. So there you go. That's why there's a huge interest on them. But that is what it looks like on your fun calls right there. So we'll be looking at all these tomorrow and checking out the market. It does look like it's going to be pretty decent green in the after hours or overnight hours, it looks like. And that is what our market looks like right there. Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez and Michael Anthony and Doge Mama 9 and Robin and Joseph Levy, Zach, everybody else that hangs out, Progressive G, and all of you guys. And Asian Joe Lee, and of course everybody else. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll wrap it up early this evening, even though it was an hour and a half right there. I didn't even realize an hour and a half just went by there. Michael Anthony, that was pretty quick. Rams 28-7 now. Holy cow, what did they do? All just score? I didn't even realize that was the score. That's pretty crazy, Michael Anthony. Wasn't it just like 21-0? Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, it was 21-7, 28-7. You're absolutely right there in the second quarter with a couple minutes left, so you guys can go enjoy the second half. We were talking about this already, Michael Anthony. Good old Cracker Barrel looking beautiful. And American Airline and Delta do look good right there, I must say, and even Southwest. So keep an eye on the airlines tomorrow as well. They're looking pretty good. So there you go, guys. That is what they look like for tomorrow. That's what the market looks like tomorrow, or at least Friday closing going into tomorrow. We'll be on in the pre-market at 7 a.m. to see exactly what it wants to look like. Laptop Travel will be on at 4 a.m. with the 4 a.m. Warriors. You can check him out in the Discord. Check us out in the Discord. I'm in there as well. You guys know that because I'll be on at 9 a.m. with Ben. We'll be doing some live trading, breaking down the market, telling you what opportunities are the best ones. And then again, like I said, we'll do the show at 7 a.m. to get ready for that opening. So we know what's going on in the market at all times, Michael Anthony, that's for sure. We break it down on a daily basis and do it pretty accurately. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on X, YouTube, Instagram, and all that good stuff. And we will destroy the market this week, even though it's a short week. Thanksgiving on Thursday, guys. How crazy is that? And then the mad rush to go get all the Christmas gifts and Christmas shopping, holiday shopping done, and all that good stuff. So holy cow, it's going to get really busy now. And so yeah, enjoy this this week. It's a little bit of a shorter week in the market, but obviously Thanksgiving, so we will all be traveling around doing our Thanksgiving thing, eating turkey on Thursday, and giving thanks for all the things that we have in life. So there you go, everybody. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out, that's for sure. And of course, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and I will catch you guys at 7 a.m. Be sure to like the show on your way out. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be seeing you guys early in the morning at 7 for our pre-market show. Michael Anthony, we'll see what CBRL and all of them are doing. I'm telling you, I have a whole list right here. I'll just show you real quick. That list is like completely filled up with things that are ready to run, setting up and looking good. Market's looking pretty good. Crypto looking pretty good right there. Bitcoin was almost at 88. It's at 87.6 now. Looking decent going into tomorrow. So there you go, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. See you in the morning, everybody.